So that's YouTube is going to be up there?
Yep.
What's that?
You're on YouTube right now.
Oh, we're live on YouTube? Hell yeah! All right. Yeah, are we gonna get Facebook latencies worked out? Looks like it. It looks like it, man. We're rolling Facebook, right? Y'all good on Facebook? 6:36.
Oh, we good.
We good. All right, let me share it. All right, there it is. Boom.
Atta boy, Joe Rod.
Why don't we wait until the game ends and try to start the work on
Atta boy, Joey. All right, welcome in Don Juan Cigar Bar. Sorry we're a little late. LSU smashed today on the road, on the plains. We're going to give you our thoughts coming up here on Whiskey and Wine. Remember, as we were over here at Don Juan's, just like we are every week, you can come join us over here. You got to wear a mask to get in, but once you get in, man, it is a good time. Good cigars and smoke. Scone is on that whiskey. I'm on that wine. And we will be pounding on LSU, their game plan, their coaching staff, their effort. Everything over the next 90 minutes. We'll walk you up until Eagle 98.1 game day. Their post-game show with Charlie.
Good.
I'm good. Are we good? I'm still got video unavailable.
What's that?
I could be wrong.
Facebook looks like it's rolling. And YouTube is up. We're rolling. Let's roll. YouTube's up. Rolling. All right, here we go. Y'all on YouTube, do us a solid. Share that out. Let this stuff grow a little bit. Appreciate y'all for watching. Hell yeah, let's go. All right. So
start over. Start from the top.
We're gonna restart. Joe Rod, the one thing I say, man, is on Facebook, if we could, is we're gonna stay on that camera on Facebook because we just don't have the background of the bar.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna fix it. Let me get another tripod.
Okay, cool. I appreciate it. All right, let's get this rolling again. Thank you for watching. We're here at Don Juan Cigar Bar. LSU gets the shit kicked out of them 48-11. It was actually close until the 99-yard drive by Auburn at the end of the first half, which put Auburn up 3 scores, a couple of turnovers. Defense actually played solid for a half. Second half was an absolute shit show. Everything about the second half was an absolute, abject, total shit show. And LSU loses. But we're here at Don Juan Cigar Bar. We appreciate them sincerely. Y'all know the drill. If you would, hold up whatever you're drinking. Take a picture of your glass with the screen. Toast with us here as we celebrate another edition of Whiskey and Wine Year 4. Jordy Mantle, if Rohan's showing up. I never really know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he shows up, we got to cheer for him. So, come on. All right. So, Jordy, when there's no sound on Facebook, Joe. All right. Good. Hell yeah. All right, YouTube. There it is, YouTube. It's good, YouTube. All right, so we have sound on Facebook, Joe?
Sound on YouTube is great.
Facebook, y'all got sound? Facebook, y'all got sound? Give us thumbs up if y'all got sound. Oh, okay. Matt Leonard said technical director vocal lead.
Shit, we can't afford him.
All right, they still can't hear us, Joe. Oh wait, no, let me see. Oh, we got sound on Facebook. Yeah, we're good. Okay, we're good. Everybody's good. Yep, we're good. Let's roll. We're good. All right, so thanks to Don Juan for hosting us. Thanks to Citizens Bank. Thanks to David Richardson Builder. All of them are tagged in the post on Facebook. We'll tell you much more about all the great stuff that they have going on here. We appreciate everybody who are watching. Please share the post. I know we're a little bit late getting rolling, so please share the post if you're on YouTube. Share it out to your social networks. If you're on Facebook, please share it. All right, Jordy, I'll tee it up for you again since you started your rant and YouTube missed it. Let's just go again. Your impressions of what we saw today from LSU.
So, to me, it was terrible, right? Start to finish. There's not a lot of there's no positive really that I can take from today. But what I will tell you is that if you think today is the bottom, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse because of what I see on the sidelines. Forget what's going on between the white lines. They're playing a lot of true freshmen. They're going through a lot of roster turnover. There's a lot of excuses that you can fall back on, but one that is going to be glaring is the body language by the coaching staff and the players that are on the sidelines. If you look late in the game, there is expressions of laughter, smiling, getting blown out on the road by an SEC Western Division rival. And you've got guys that just look uninterested. They look unorganized. LSU's problems are a lot deeper than what you saw in between the lines today. And like I said, today, you think this is the bottom. You think that this is as bad as it can get. Man, 2 weeks from now when we do this post-game show, Alabama has circled the LSU game like LSU circled the Texas A&M game last season. They're coming into Baton Rouge to kick LSU's teeth. They are going to whip LSU's ass, and especially if LSU comes out of the locker room where they look like they don't care. They're not into the game, even to the coaches, man. I mean, the players is easy. It's easy to come out and say, man, the players look like shit when you got blown out, when you got your doors run off. But the coaches, even sometimes you get a couple of shots from the television to the sideline. You got guys headsets down, looking at the field. Nobody's checked in. Nobody's communicating with each other. You're still seeing defensive guys. You still have defensive guys looking around pre-snap with their hands in the air, looking as if they're confused. And then when the snap happens, they've got guys with 6-7 yards of space, wide open guys. I mean, look, man, I'm not here to call for people's job. I'm not here to say that this guy doesn't deserve a job. But you've got to be kidding me with this stuff with Bo Pelini, that you're still looking at a defense that is confused. There's no communication. It's all broken down. I mean, it's all. I say this with almost just. I know they put a press release out on Thursday that said they're not making essential hires until 2023, but I'd leave his ass on the tarmac in Auburn, man. I mean, you've got to be kidding me that you're doling out that amount of cash and you have that type of dysfunction with just elementary type stuff. They can't run man to man. They can't run zone. They can't guard in space. They can't tackle. They're always out of position. They look like they're unorganized. They have their hands in the air where they don't know where to be. And then they look like they're checked out. Like they don't give a damn. I mean, man, look, man, and you know what's about to get real old, that's getting old, is the head coach stepping to the microphone and saying, it's my fault. I'll take care of it. We've heard that the last month. You can't get up into the microphone and say it again. At some point, somebody's going to follow up and say, yeah, but you said that 3 weeks ago. What is going to happen to make it different? I mean, simplify. How much do you have to simplify for a Division I athlete at this level with the resources and time that you put into that football program? I mean, those guys spend all day in the football facility. You just spent $100 million on a facility that is state of the art, where you can put Auburn's offense on a damn projector. You could put your defense in a room, space them out, run Auburn's routes, and you could guard them under a roof. There's NFL teams that don't have that type of access to those resources, and you're still seeing them get off the bus on Saturdays with their hands in the air like they don't know where they're supposed to be pre-snap. I've never seen a team, if you want LSU to be in trouble, move around pre-snap.
Yeah.
Send somebody in motion. Send it back out of the backfield to the wide side of the field and watch LSU shit their pants because they don't know what to do. And to me, the guy that you're paying $2.5 million a year to run that side of the ball, you've got to give me some answers, man. Well, what in the fuck is so difficult about teaching this level of defense to this caliber of athlete where they look lost 5 weeks into it? I mean, like, lost. You think this is the bottom? This is not the bottom. This is going to get worse before it gets better. In 2 weeks, when Alabama comes in here, they are going to try to hang 80 on your ass because of what happened last year in Tuscaloosa, the amount of chatter that me and all of the fan base has been doing for the last year. And the way that LSU's been beating their chest, whether it be on the recruiting trail or whether it be in the offseason with 60 minutes, books coming out, reports on everybody's on TV all the time. Alabama's sitting back, just, you know what? Here they come in 2 weeks. And it is not, it's going to get worse than this.
Yep.
It's going to be worse than this. You're up.
All right. So, everything he said, I'll give a big fucking cosign and a big hell yeah at all. I talked to Darry Beckwith on AFR this week, and he said, "Man, that couldn't be more basic. LSU defensively is moving recently." So you know, one of the biggest problems you got is effort. Now, at the beginning of the season, when we watched LSU get the shit kicked out of them by Mississippi State, we sat here and I said, "Look, I don't want to criticize effort because I don't know." And it wasn't like I didn't see anybody playing hard. I didn't see anybody today really look like they wanted to go bring the wood to anybody. Did you look at the final box score today? Auburn ran the ball today for 206 yards. Auburn averaged 5 yards a carry and over 7 yards per play. If you just narrow that down in the second half, it's probably double that number. The bottom line is, we all know it right now. Bo Pelini was a shit hire. I was okay with it because I could buy Ed Ogeron saying, "Hey, I want to get my guy. I want to run a 4-3. It's what I want to do. I want to recruit to that." Fine. That's all good, and I'm with it. And I can even handle growing pains as you transition because you've been recruiting for a 3-4. You don't have great depth on your defensive line. But when you're not giving effort, that's the problem I have. And we've reached that point today. Today, that was a problem. You were not giving effort in this ball game today, especially as you got down 21-3.
Nobody over there can tell me that the locker room is in cue, that the locker room is in unison. All you have to do is look at the sideline today. They are so checked out, disinterested about what's going on in the field. And I'm not just talking about the players, man. I'm talking about you take some of those TV shots to the sideline, and you got coaches looking at live action with their fucking headsets on their neck, looking into the field, not talking to anybody. They know what I'm saying. They know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? When you see a football coach with his headset down, just staring at the field, give me your ticket. How much did you pay to get in? When you're getting blown out, man, you need to be talking to somebody. You gotta have these teams. I mean, nobody's standing up on the sideline. Everybody's sitting down on the bench. Everybody's got their helmet off. Bro, you're getting blown out on the road. They got no dogs. They got no fight. They got nobody in there to pull the lock. Remember last year? I forget who it was against. It was a non-conference opponent in Tiger Stadium. They were beating the shit out of it, and the offensive line broke the huddle, and they didn't run up to the line of scrimmage. And Burrow leaves them down on a touchdown. And I'm not talking about a Joe Burrow because I know he doesn't exist. I'm just talking about a leader. I'm talking about a dog, somebody that sees this type of effort and pulls everybody in and says, "You know what, man? This is some bullshit." I'm looking at everybody. Everybody here earned a scholarship, but nobody's earning it on the field anymore because everybody thinks they've arrived. Nobody here has any dog in them. Nobody has any type of fight. Nobody wants to look at the guy next to him and say, "Hey, man, you better pick this shit up or we're going to get blown out today." And I expect you to do that. What was the game? I forget, but Burrow brings his offensive line and the ESPN cameras catches him talking about it. You can see he's acting out the way that they walk to the line of scrimmage. Tell him, if you don't have the effort, you don't have the energy, get the fuck out. Yeah, right. Send somebody else in. But see, now LSU's got a problem where the numbers are against them. The numbers are against them. LSU's got the issue because the numbers are against them. The next man up, he don't give a fuck either.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? So it'll be tough to tell me and sell me that the locker room is in unison. All you have to do is look at the sideline today. Nobody is. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And when you have to fight that fight from the head coach's seat, the coaching staff seat, man, the football issues are a million miles away. And they got big issues on the field, too. They got big issues on the field, too.
I can handle losses. I can handle losses. In a year after what you just went through, I can handle effort, but you're running out Jaquaylin Roy and half the defensive staff. You're running out Elias Ricks, true freshman. You run out freshmen out there. You have freshman receivers. Like, I can handle freshman quarterback, young guys learning how to win. What I can't handle is getting your ass beat and looking like you don't give a shit that you get your ass beat. That's the biggest problem. We're gonna get some of your comments. As always, shout out to Don Juan Cigar Bar here in Town Center, right next to Whole Foods. It's our home. As soon as game goes final, we fire it up live here on Facebook and on YouTube. We appreciate you for being with us. We're also brought to you by our friends over at Citizens Bank and Trust Community Bank since 1916. Business bankers, business partners, some of the newest developments in the Baton Rouge area. Citizens Bank has been the lender there. Mid-City Beer Garden, Soji Restaurants, Anthony's Deli, Building 5 under the Perkins Road overpass. My guys over at the Ichiban Square Retail Plaza right there on Perkins. That is Citizens Bank and Trust. If you're a small business owner and you need a community bank, you need Citizens Bank and Trust. Our guy Jim Ferguson, awesome dude, man. He's the best. So
They are the best.
Citizens Bank and Trust, they're tagged in the post on Facebook, so make sure you like Citizens.
They are local. That's what I love about Jimmy P. And Citizens Bank and Trust been around forever. Originated in Blackman. Their Jefferson Highway bank over here is getting a big upgrade, big facelift. And don't forget about David Richardson, builder and real estate agent. If you want him to build your house or sell your house, he can do that. If you want to get into Willow Grove on Perkins Road, he's the guy to get in touch with. As Stone said, his social media is tied to this post with all of his contact information. There's a brand new development coming in the back of Willow Grove based around a pond, a nice little private area back there. Perkins Road, the Dunham School right there. Get in touch with David Richardson, builder and real estate agent.
All right, Justin Little, Troy Villa, Evan Saunier, Chris Rutley, Lowell Cormier, Brent Torres, Paul Batts. We appreciate Kevin McGlynn, Nick Taylor, Dane Hatcher. We appreciate y'all, man. Hit the share. Thanks for being with us. Let's go through, if we could, some of the game.
Yeah.
All right. So I know, look, we're venting. A lot of y'all are frustrated as well, and you should be. This was a scoreless first quarter. Nobody scored. Like, it was a pretty competitive defensive first half until LSU started making mistakes, which we'll get to. A couple of things. I thought there was a play on Auburn. LSU gets the ball first, they go 3 and out. Auburn gets the ball, and they put together a couple of first downs. They got 3rd and 7, and they run a draw. Yeah. No, good. Come on, Goobs. Come on, Goobs. Respect the booze, man.
Where were you?
BJ Ojolari comes up with a big tackle on a draw, and you get off the field.
Yep.
Like, freshmen making plays.
Eight is a stud.
8 is the stud, man. You get the ball back, and this is when you put together one of your better drives. You get 3 first downs. That's when they had the review of the targeting on when Finley's helmet pops off. They review. They thought it was targeting. That was on a 2nd down play, and it brings up 3rd and 3. That, in my estimation, should have been a personal foul. Even though targeting, Philly was giving himself up. It should have been a personal foul.
I agree.
That moves the chains. Instead, you got 3rd and 3. Max Johnson comes in, he throws the deep ball, incomplete, and now you punt. Auburn gets the ball back. They punt again, back and forth. This is where, for me, I thought LSU had an opportunity on the road to go assert themselves, and I think they fucked up. They went for it on the 4th down and converted on a 4th and 1. That's when they went for the 4th and 1 converted. But then the bigger problem I had, man, is they got 4th and 4 at about the 36-yard line, and they try a 54-yard field goal.
Yeah.
And it was just like, at that point on that spot on the field, I'm sitting here thinking, go for it, man. Hard count, go for it. Like, what's your best play? Quick slant, Gilbert, whatever. Go for it there and say, we're going to win today. And if you don't, your defense is playing well, and you give them the ball to 36. I mean, I'm okay they're playing to win, and they didn't, and that surprised me.
Great opportunity to instill some confidence into the team, increase some energy from what we've been hearing about. How can you find energy? How can you create it? Those are the types of decisions. On the road, trust your guys, pick up the 4th and 5, keep the chain, control the 4th and 4, move the chain.
Bro, and then, so it's no good. This was the sequence of the game that changed everything. You missed the field goal. Auburn gets the ball back. 1st down. Stove gets 38 yards. Bigby runs. Then they throw the pass to Williams, and he's about to score. And Derek Stingley rips it out. Beautiful fucking play. Derek Stingley. That was at the point the play of the game, man. I mean, he gives up a beautiful pass by Bo Nix, little back shoulder action. I mean, but Stingley recovered and has the presence of mind to rip the ball out. It's a touchback. Goes to review. All right, awesome. You get the ball back, and then what do? McNabb for 22 yards. You run Ty Davis Price. By the way, we're going to talk about the running back rotation as well. And then on 2nd down, There's the pick six, which ultimately stepped out the floor, and then they scored play later. And that was today the worst pass for Finley. A lot of people are going to shit on TJ Finley. TJ Finley didn't give up 48 points today. All right, he got crushed today. There was I don't care who was playing quarterback. I mean, we're going to talk about that. I know because I know I'm seeing some of the comments, no quarterback controversy, whatever. Shelve that shit. Anyway, the interception Finley threw there, it was high and wide. That's on him. Kid on the road made a bad
my evaluation of TJ Finley again. He's a quarterback that had his ass kicked and got a little rattle after that stop. Guess what? That happens to two freshman quarterback on the road in the SEC.
No doubt.
That guy stepped into a competition today where he had no protection. Every time he put his head up, he had somebody in his face. And once he reached him, he got his dick knocked out. Yeah. So you know what? To get any kind of evaluation or analysis, TJ Finley would be sincerely unfair. Same said for Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that they both had nice spots. They both did things that were okay for the most part. Everybody plays like shit. I mean, really.
They can't hear you, Mike. You need to turn you up. You need to pick your mic up a little bit. I mean, you got volume. You just got to. But so here's the point. So you're down 7-0. You get the ball back, and you actually start driving the ball again. They go for it on the 4th and 1 push thing. They get it. They're moving the ball, and then they have a 3rd and 7, and McMath is short, and they elect to punt. They punt the ball, and that's when they couldn't down it at the 1. They couldn't down it at the 1. Auburn, LSU. You know what? No. And then the other biggest play of the first half. Again, keep in mind, you're still at 7-0 here at about the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. You're halfway through the second quarter, 7-0. The only difference in the ball game right now is Finley made one wide pass. That's it. Like you're in a ball game, and Stingley comes up, bro. First down, Auburn gets 9 yards. On 2nd down, Stingley makes a tackle for a loss, which forces 3rd and 5. And then they started right, and he cuts it back, and Stingley comes up and knocks him for a 4-yard loss. And now all of a sudden it's 3rd and 5. They got to throw, it's incomplete, they got to punt. So now you get the ball back again. Like the defense at that point had been playing well, and that's when Finley pop, fumble, scoop and score. It's 14-0. And at that point, it felt like, oh shit, here comes the avalanche. And LSU at that point gets the ball back. Jeray Jenkins had a drop on the next possession. LSU punts.
I love that play call.
What? Yeah. LSU punts. They down the ball at the 1-yard line, and then Auburn goes on an 8-play, 99-yard drive. 8 plays, 99 yards to go up 21-0. You get the field goal before half, but realistically, that was it. You had the ball and still in a 14-0 game where the only thing, like where your defense is giving good effort, you just got to get your offense on track. You've given up basically 2 defensive scores at that point. Auburn's offense hadn't done dick to that point, and you let them go 99 yards up your ass to go up 21-0, and that felt like it.
Play of the drive was Tank Bigsby on 1st down after Zach Von Rosenberg gives you the punt of the day, pinch you in between the 1-yard line. 1st down, you give up outside containment, and he busts
26 yards.
26 yards
Yep,
on
you're
the
right.
right side. You take that punt and just totally negate it and make it a touchback and get the ball to the 25-yard line. I mean, it's the little stuff that you would think in a simplified defense 5 weeks into the game, we're still not even putting in and taking into account the extended time of practice that they had in fall to get this stuff right, and to have the audacity and the balls to say in week 1 that you didn't have enough time to put in a zone defense, and you couldn't get to that after AJ Costello puts up 650 fucking yards on it, and here you are in week 5 making Bo Nix look like Dan Fouts. I mean, like it is appalling that you can dish out this amount of cash in 2020 in college football on the defensive side, and I understand where it's an offensive game, right? Where it's all shit that just points being scored, and how do you defend that? But now LSU's falling back in the trap where they can't score points and they can't stop them. And they have a big issue.
We're
not here.
No, you can hear you, but you just gotta have your mic up because mine's on. Your volume is all the way up, but like you just look at the levels, man. Like mine is way hot, yours is low. It's just because your mic is dragging down. Yeah, do like that. Yeah, there you go. That's all. All right, so then 21-3 at half, and Auburn gets the ball to start the second half, and this is where the shit show begins, right? You let them go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays into the end zone. It's 28-3 at that point. It's over. The big play on that drive was Ali Gay's face mask. You got a chance to get off the field. Ali Gay grabs the face mask. It's about to be a tackle for loss. He grabs the face mask, and then that allows him to keep the drive alive. So, like at that point, really, that's whenever it was over. And then the first down for LSU, the next play was the interception off the deflection. And then at that point, it was a done day for T.J. Finley. Max Johnson came in with 8:55 left in the third. So, all right, we've shat on the defense a ton. Let's talk about the offense. Actually, let me see if I can get some of y'all's questions or comments in here. Jessica Trum, Curly Hallman has entered the chat. Dakota Hopper, what's up? David Cruz. Let's see. Raphael Curtis. Wait, let's see. They're saying they can hear you on Facebook, but not on YouTube. All right. You know what? Then here. What was this? Here, use this one. See if that's going to do you better.
How's that? How's that? We're talking about David Richardson Builder and real estate agents. Don Juan Cigar Bar. Citizens Bank and Trust.
Ben Anderson, what's happened to 7? What's up with Jacoby Stevens?
Look, man, when I go by my rant about players being checked out, nobody being checked in, means Jacoby's due.
7 tackles today, 5 solo, 1 tackle for loss. Statistically, probably his best game.
Yeah, and look, man, I think the stats he's around the football. The examples that I'm talking about, when you're talking about leadership, senior guy that's been around, the guy that we heard that go around the sideline and say, look, man, this shit ain't fly anymore. That would be the guy. I mean, I would expect him to be right there.
Yep. All right, let's start with the quarterbacks. Last week I asked the question. I said, hey, when we were all going, happy with Finley and the day he had, I asked a question last week, point blank, in praising Finley, by the way. I thought Finley had a great day, of course, and I like Finley. I think he's the future. And I'll stay with that even after today, and we'll get to that. But the thing I said last week, is today, the LSU South Carolina game, any different if Miles Brennan starts? I said no. Like, they do, it's probably very similar. Similarly, I would say if Miles Brennan played today, you probably have the same results. I mean, would anything be different with quarterbacks under duress, with a defense that's indifferent? I mean, would anything have been different? People, we forget, we have this idea of Miles as a 4th-year guy, but realistically, he's played 3 games. In his first game, we were very critical after his first game against Mississippi State because he looked very unsure, right? I mean, I don't know that today with Miles Brennan is any different than it was with T.J. Finley.
There's no way you can tell me it would be any different unless Miles Brennan can come in and get another 60 guys around him and say, hey, fellas, the game is kicked off. Hey, coaches, that plan we've been working on all week, now's the time to, if it ain't working, make the changes.
Well, here's the flip side. I would say that, Jay. Miles Brennan was there. Fuck, man, if you're a 4th-year junior and this is your fucking team and you're the guy, I don't care if you're hurt or not, get off the bench and go get up some people's ass, right? Like, what's the difference? What's the difference? So, man, my point is, I know everybody's, I'm looking on Twitter, man, quarterback controversy. Like, I feel today the exact same as I did, last week. I mean, I'll look at T.J. Finley's day, and T.J. Finley went 13 of 24 for 143, no touchdowns and 2 picks. Not good. Not good. Max Johnson was 15 of 24. He threw 24 passes in basically a quarter and a half. 15 to 24 for 172, a touchdown, no picks. He had a rating of 136. But man, I think all that, did Max Johnson do anything today that made you go, damn? Right.
You cannot evaluate that with your You cannot get a fair evaluation of the quarterback because there's no to throw it. The game plan is shit. And every time that they try to make any type of play, they have three guys in the face. Now, credit them for making the plays that they did today. I think Max Johnson showed you that he is probably a little bit better runner and mover than TJ Finley is. But TJ Finley can stand there and make the throws. And he had people in the face all day. He was under the reps. I've never seen a 6'6" quarterback that ball that in the games.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, look, Peyton Manning's 6'5". I mean, we've seen passes reflected. You have low trajectory, short pass. Look, credit the defensive lineman, got his hands up in the air. Wish LSU would do more of that shit. Reed DeSalvo on YouTube has a good question. It's going. Gilbert ended up with an okay game statistically. In the first half, on 23 pass attempts, he had 1 target. Why is the National High School Player of the Year not involved more when the game's on the line?
Good, man. For as much as they talk about having him in the game plan, you would just wonder, like, within his first 15, to that you have scripted, to at least isolate him, create some type of one-on-one, because he showed you late in the game, they threw a couple of passes to him, they just snags it, turns his hips, he gets up there, and makes a couple of people miss, so he can turn one over, and he is as big time as they make him.
The one you're talking about was the last play of the third quarter. It was a 3rd and 10 where Gilbert, they threw it over the middle, he got 17 yards. Yeah. That's the one you're talking about. So, anyway, I think, Joe Ryan, this is the mic for Facebook. Can we put it here?
That's the mic for YouTube.
Oh, for YouTube. So can we put it here? That's why. They can hear me, they can't hear him. That's why. Cool. That's great. Okay, cool. Perfect.
YouTube, can you hear me? YouTube, can you hear me? YouTube,
that's
can you
why
hear me?
it's right there. I didn't realize. Okay, cool. Now it's perfect. All right, good. Hey, wow. All right. Let's see if we get this shit straight for next week. Let's see if we get this fucking shit straight for next week.
Can we, dude?
Much love to y'all, bro. I love you. This is man, of all the things we do and get to do and shit like that, man, whiskey and wine, being here at Don Juan, getting to hang with my boy, drink a little something, smoke a little cigar, hang out, man. This is a good time. I'm Mr. Rowe today. I don't know where he is.
Gene Albert, this broadcast is losing by 2 touchdowns. Yeah, but Gene, we just made a play.
God damn it.
We just made a play, Gene.
We just caught a quick.
We just made a play. Scoop and score.
Could this be anywhere? Like, and then we got to watch this team just curb on Mississippi State, right? I mean, 17-0 in the first. Happy fucking holiday. Let's see. All right, here we go. Can I go through some of the good that I had in the first half? Because as the game goes, I write good and bad.
I got to take a leak. You're going to be done by the time I get back?
Yeah?
Yeah. Might be that by a good time I get to the door.
I mentioned the Ojulari tackle for loss.
I love BJ Ojulari.
He's awesome.
I love that kid.
And if you want to look at positives, and I think here's another thing. When we came into this season, I think we had to be realistic about what our expectations were. Okay, some people that are super butthurt right now are the people who thought this team could go undefeated and win a championship. Right? That's on you. I'm sorry, I love you, but that's on you. All right, if you were coming into the season thinking 10-0 and shit, that's on you. I said ceiling's 8-2. They probably finished 7-3. And I'm clearly they ain't winning out. I mean, that ain't gonna happen, right? But if you're looking for positives, BJ Ojulari is the star. Elias Ricks is going to be a lockdown number 1. Yeah. Tayshaun Booty scored a touchdown. Looked good today. I think when he's had his chance, Coy Moore has done well. We got to see TJ Finley and Max Johnson play. I think Jenkins has played well. I think he found something in Ali Gay, and realistically, as much as we talked about him after week 1, he's coming back. Like, he's got to come back. I mean, we talked about him. Today, but the next thing I've written down is Ali Gay today had a really nice. He had 2 plays, one good and one bad that I wrote down. The bad was the face mask, and to start the second half, which is a crucial play, and because that kept the Auburn drive alive and put it up 20. Because like, without that, it's you punt, it's 21-3, you get the ball, you score, you're in a game. Absolutely. You know what I mean? You're in a game still. But face mask, you travel out this work. And not that it would have made a difference. Not that the game would have ended any differently, but it's what it is. But he did have a really nice tackle for loss on Auburn's second drive, and it put Auburn to a 3rd and 4. But then they converted the 3rd and 4. It was the first time all season I think I've seen Ali Gay really make an impact in the run game. What we've seen from Ali Gay is get your hands up, knock passes down,
Bull
sack,
rush,
that
get there.
That was the first time I saw him play the run and look good doing it.
With 3rd down, look at 3rd down conversion. 3rd down efficiency, Auburn
I don't want to hear
8-13.
it. LSU was,
Auburn 8 of 13.
did LSU convert 3 times on 3rd down?
5 of 17.
5 of 17. 5 of 17 on 3rd.
1 of 2 on 4th. Total yards, Auburn put up 506, LSU 347. How many penalties? LSU penalized 2 times, they had 25 yards. Auburn 3. Turnovers 3 to 1.
The ref swallowed the flags after the game got out of hand, but LSU didn't have a penalty in the first half. The first penalty of the game for LSU was the face mask on Ali Gay in the first drive of the second half. I wrote down the Stingley forced fumble. Stingley, look, when you're out there every game shadowing the best player on the other team for 60 minutes, you're going to give up a catch or 2 a game. It's going to happen. But are you also making plays? And Stingley is largely taking away a half of the field. The biggest impact today, obviously, was the forced fumble at the 1 that went into, which was just a stud play. But the other 2 biggest plays of the game he made were in run defense, was him giving run support.
Coach, you know what? I was glad that he got popped in the first play.
Yeah.
Shivers popped him.
Did it?
He popped him. That's probably the first time he's taken a shot in college. I mean, there may be a couple of times last year where you can look back and see, but I mean, that was the first time that he squared up and Shivers put it on him. And then from there, you could tell he kind of tightened his chin strap up and became a player. And like Stone said, really made an impact in his run defense today. And the play he made on the sideline was, I mean, that's just big time. I mean, that's top 3 draft pick in the NFL. A couple of years on an NFL wide receiver. So, you know, I mean.
All right, that was all the positive I had. That was it.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Max Johnson, a little bit. Not ready to play, but I mean, you know, he did some things good. He ran it well. He's athletic. He's big. He's strong. But like I said, you cannot evaluate quarterback.
There's nothing redeeming I would take away from today from either quarterback. Nothing. There's nothing redeeming.
Trey Palmer.
Trey Palmer almost housed another
Yeah, that guy,
but,
you know what? That kid made a good tackle.
But for the kicker making the play. And Anders Carlson's a big kid.
He is a big kid.
You know, and but for Carlson making that play, Palmer housed another one. That probably changed the game right there. Bless you. You know, you talk about 21-7. Bless you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Jess Wiseman, what's up? Check out y'all on YouTube here. James Fortin, Gary, Robert Osakissi. I don't know how to say your name, Robert. I don't give a shit. Sorry, but I love you. Robert, look, I said that. Robert said the name needs to be It's Whiskey from here on out. LOL, love the show. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you, man. Dexter Francis. All right, here you go. Here's one. I'm gonna put this one to you first, and then I'm gonna talk about it. All right. Dexter Francois on YouTube. Coach O is turning into Gene Chisholm. Prove me wrong, Jordy or Matt.
Well, I can't prove you wrong right now because right now the program feels a lot like 2011 Auburn because when you look at the success that they had last year and all that we heard of the foundation and elements that were being built to a future program, you don't see that put in place right now. You don't see that put in place. And believe me, I have been the leader of preaching and spreading the message that is happening in Baton Rouge, but I've been fooled through the first 5 weeks of the season. Because I can deal with young players making plays and getting beat in the game that you look like you're prepared for. What looks more concerning to me is what I led off today's whiskey and wine with, that some of us may not have been able to hear, is if you look at the body language and you look at the sidelines and you look at the level of engagement of the players and coaches on this team during a game when you're getting blasted, that to me says that the state of the program is in a concerning level because nobody looked like they were checked in. Nobody looked like they cared that they were getting blown out. There's a couple of instances where you can catch late game scenarios where you go to the sidelines and they're getting beat by 35, 38 points, and you got guys smiling and laughing on the sideline. You know, that's the stuff that I heard was getting out of the locker room because you were trying to build a program built with character guys. And I'm not going to people's character because they're smiling on the sidelines for rollouts, but that does say a lot about the level of engagement in the program because that's a pride thing. You know what I mean? I know if I turned on sports radio in Baton Rouge and I heard a competitor doing cool and creative stuff, I would make sure and try to zone in and try to kick their ass. While they're getting their ass kicked today, LSU smiling and laughing. That's not what you're hoping for. You know what I mean? That's not the reaction. That's not the level of concern that you want the people that have invested interest into the program. That's not what you want, man. It's alarming. And like I said, if you think this is the bottom, it's going lower. It's gonna get worse. 2 weeks from now, when Alabama comes in, if you get off the bus with the team that played today at Auburn, Alabama's going to hang 80 on them. They're going to hang 80 on them because they want to. Right now, as they're kicking Mississippi State's teeth in, they cannot wait to get to Baton Rouge because they've been talking about that game for nearly 365 days because we've all been talking about it too. And again, I am a part of that number. I've been chirping as loud as anybody to people in Tuscaloosa if they could listen, because I was being sold that LSU is building a competitive and championship program that year in, year out is going to be able to compete with them. In 2 weeks, they're going to pull in the ear, and they're going to abuse LSU. Abuse them.
You're going to pick Bama to win the game?
Yeah, I'm thinking of whatever the spread is right now, and I would say that spread's probably going to open up at 18, 17 points. I would take Alabama. I mean, just where would I give you as somebody that is a talking head that is supposed to give you an objective opinion? How would I sell anybody that LSU has any chance to compete against that after what you saw today? There's nobody that's checked in. There's nobody that cares. And if you don't care that you just got run out of the stadium, that you got embarrassed. You got embarrassed. And if you don't care about that, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
All right. So to the question that I think it was Dexter asked about if Ogeron is the next Gene Chisholm, I'll tell you this is the difference, right, in my mind. 2010 Auburn. What do you remember about 2010 Auburn?
2010 on Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, one other guy.
Fearless.
Yeah. You had a fucking cheat code on offense and defense. You had two guys that were fucking freak shows. Do you realize the only other player on 2010 Auburn, Lee Zimba, offensive lineman, only other player that played in the NFL other than Cam Newton from that offense. That was it. Cam Newton did everything. He was the fucking man. Nick Fairley on the other side. That defense wasn't great. That defense finished the season ranked 50th-ish nationally in total defense. They sucked dick. They weren't good. But they had a fucking cheat code on defense in Nick Fairley. So, here's what I'll tell you. Gene Chisholm couldn't fucking recruit to save his fucking life. That's the biggest difference, is that Gene Chisholm won a national championship because he had an incredible player in Cam Newton that helped win him a national championship and couldn't recruit anybody after that. When I look at what this staff recruited a year ago, finishing with a top 5 class, and today getting Sage Ryan, what we can talk about, LSU's about to finish with another top 5 class. LSU has talent upon talent upon talent. Gene Chisholm never had this. He never recruited to that level. 11 was a step back when they got the shit kicked out of them, and 12 was a fucking dumpster fire. They went 0-8 in the SEC and got fired. Do you think next year in 2021 LSU's going 0-8 in the SEC with the amount of fucking talent they have right now? But that's my point, right? You got
That's good. And that's a good break.
Like here's the thing, man. Next year you go into the season whoever your quarterback is, I don't give a fuck. One of these guys.
But that's fine. Like I'm good. Like they got enough
You'll have
talent there to
options.
win.
You'll have options. Yeah. You'll have John Emery and Ty Davis Price at running back. You'll have your entire offensive line back except for Austin Deckis and probably Eddingham. Eddingham was probably going to the league, and I wouldn't blame him if he did. Like a Sadiq Charles type situation. Just get on, But you'll have most of those guys back. All of your receivers except Terrace Marshall are going to be back, right? I mean, or 13's a senior, right? But I mean, everybody else is back. You get all your Avery Gilbert's back. Everybody's back. Defensively, you're going to build upon your defensive front seven. You got to figure out linebacker. Like, where's the fucking guy Webb that we heard so much about? Philip, where the fuck is that?
Josh White.
Where are these guys that we heard so much about? Jordan Poles played a bit today. 14, but 14 needs to go play baseball. 14 should have taken a 7-figure signing bonus and brought his ass into pro baseball.
Is that what that?
Like,
seriously,
what are you doing? The breakdown on the first touchdown, when he
that's the angle.
when Bo Nix,
That's the angle.
shake and like fucking juke him out of his pants. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, go get in the cages over there at Maneri's place. Help them win a natty. Go to the show.
Absolutely.
So, but my point is, you got Stingley back next year on one side, you got Ricks on the other side. Like, so if you're thinking this is a Chiswick situation, I don't believe that because you got too much talent now.
And you're right.
Now, but here's the flip side of it. But here's the flip side of it. Here's the flip side. Jordan, you got too much talent on this team to go to Auburn and get skull fucked 48-11. If I'm being real with you, there's too much talent on this team for that result. I can handle going on the road to Auburn with a true freshman making his first road start in the SEC and losing that game. I can handle that. Like, I don't expect a true freshman to go on the road and win. I thought he could in this because I watched Auburn damn near lose to Arkansas. Should have lost to Arkansas. I watched Auburn last week. Should have lost to Ole Miss. It wasn't that I was so high on this team going to Jordan Hare because I love this team. It was like, I just think Auburn's that good. And you got shit kicked out of you. You got flat out coached in every phase of the game. So if it is a Chiswick scenario, it is strictly that. It is the fact that Ed Ogeron has made his 4 hires with Bo Pelini and Scott Linehan and is not coaching up his talent, and you're going to end up with that type of situation where this erosion continues into next year. And I don't know if that's the case. Maybe this is just hey, you got some freshmen, you're taking your lumps, it's a weird year, all that shit, coming off the championship, you lost a ton of guys. Maybe that's it. And then next year, you're back on the rise. You know what I mean? But everything you said about this not being the bottom is right. Because, brother, you're going to lose to Bama. You're going to lose at A&M. You're going to lose at Florida. You better hope and pray that you're able to beat Arkansas and Ole Miss to get to 4-6. Otherwise, you're talking about a 3-7 type year, bro.
Shittiest thing that's happened to this team and this program is that they were not able to capitalize on what 2019 was as a college football season and what it could mean to a university and a program on the recruiting trail and on the fundraising circuit. As soon as LSU won that championship, all of that stuff was shut down by COVID. And then you get to this, and then you get to this season, and this is the type of team that you have. Now you've got
one recruit has been able to come in and hold the fucking trophy.
Not one fundraiser has been able to see in the road all of the perks of last season, all of what it meant to what came into the university and what you can ask and recruit forward on that. That's an excuse. I know that everybody is dealing with that in today's age. But when you back that bad luck up with performances like this, now you create like nobody remembers. Almost people remember, but now it's the last thing that I saw. It's the last thing that I've seen.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what have you done for me lately? Type world is this example where 2019 was great and fine, but now the 2019 storyline is really starting to look like you got a once in a lifetime type quarterback in Joe Burrow, who was an NFL franchise guy, and you had Joe Brady, who's an NFL head coach calling plays. I mean, next year at this time, when we're doing this show, Brady's going to either be coaching the Houston Texans or the Atlanta Falcons.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Or he will be a head coach in the league.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you've got an NFL head coach and a franchise quarterback that people are recruiting against you with. Where, you know, you want to go sit in people's living room and talk about 2019 and Saban and Jimbo are saying, yeah, 2019 was great, but Joe Brady ain't coming back and Joe Burrow's about to sign a long-term deal.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I mean, this is creating culture. This is creating storylines. This is creating recruiting points that other guys can walk in and say, yeah, 2019 was fantastic, but that ain't them.
You're right. All right, let's get some more comments here. Sherry McDonald, what's up? Craig Leonard, what's up? Paul Batts, appreciate y'all. Got it. We got 23 more minutes. Y'all, hey, listen, I know some of y'all on Facebook are having trouble. YouTube is rolling, man. So I'm keep posting the link in the Facebook chat. If you're having trouble on Facebook, jump over to YouTube. We're rolling over there. Do you think? All right, let me go back to this. All right, let's get some. Todd Jones, what's up? Let's see. Joe Delmonico, Jeff Whitley. Jeff Whitley said if we said Fire Bo on this show, it's been bad. It's been bad enough to, right? So, is Fire Bo Pelini a realistic scenario?
No, I mean, unless you have private money, which I would assume that they have tapped into with the Matt Canada stuff, and that they have tapped into a lot of these analysts that they have brought in, and that $7 million is a lot to ask for right now after one season of your hire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that is a lot to walk in and say, hey, it ain't working.
Did it once before with Matt Canada.
Right, and I can imagine that he burned a lot of equity in that. You know what I mean?
Did you earn it back in championship?
Possibly, but how much confidence do you have if you are a one guy that you roll that up and he makes the right decision the next time?
You know what? I don't. And that's the big problem, right? That's the problem with this strategy, with this structure, is if you miss on the hire, this is what it looks like. If you miss on the hire, 2017 with Matt Canada is what it looks like. Because ultimately, one of the reasons that and everybody hates the example, but the reason Bama rolls is Saban is the guy. Saban is the guy. And Saban is the constant. You can lose coordinators. It don't matter because he's the guy.
Not that you need the examples, not that you need the mile markers, but if anything, this has proven how great he is.
Yep.
To sustain that year in, year out, and just be that good. Just to be as consistent as they are every year, it just proves. Not that you need it, but it proves how great it is.
Rand, I'm reading those comments. Daniel Murtaugh, what's up? Appreciate y'all watching. Hit the share. Shout out Don Juan, Citizens Bank, and of course David Richardson. Brandon Degan says Wilcox covering Seth Williams on a crucial third down. We'll see. That's the point. That's the point.
Are you kidding me? I mean, what did you watch this week that made you say that is a good matchup?
You know what I'll tell you, bro? Even if I'm trying to find where that is, here it was. First drive of the third quarter. So you get the field goal right before half, right? It's 21-3, right? They go to the big fat tight end on first down, 16 yards, and then they got a 3rd and 6. You're about to get off the field, 3rd and 6. And they throw it to Williams, who's being covered by Wilcox for 12 yards. Right. Listen, here's the point. I don't even think that it's Bo saying, hey, Jabril, go cover Williams. It's, oh, shit. No, it's Gus or Chad Morris schemed that, knowing how elementary LSU's bullshit is.
They can't check out.
And set up Seth Williams, a first-round draft pick, on a linebacker who was playing at North Dakota State, came here to solidify first-round status, and has really hurt his draft status. I mean, bro, that's. All right, I got one more thing I want to ask. It's 42-3. LSU punts on the first play of the fourth quarter. Auburn gets the ball at their own 9-yard line. First half of 42-3. 91 yards. You got a problem with it?
Never would I ever have a Matt. I don't have a problem being that little league. I really don't. And I know that I'm that guy. You know what I mean? Like I'm that dude. But for you to do that on a Division I college football level, to me, the one that's got the problem is the dude that has the balls to bitch about it.
Yeah, I'm with
You know what I mean? Like you think that LSU owes Auburn some type of like, what are you doing to us? You have the audacity or the nerve to run your team or prove that you're better than them? Motherfucker. You want to keep us out of the paint? Stop us. And if you don't, we're going to score until that thing says 0-0-0 in the fourth quarter. And that's why we showed up today. Because I'm here to prove you that I'm better than you, and you're here to prove that you're better than me. And if I'm 60 points better than you, I'm going to show you I'm 60 points better than you. And if it takes me all four quarters to get there, stop me. Stop me. And if you got the balls to bitch about it, go find another sport. Really. Get the hell out of here. A coach, player, or fan.
So, I put it this way. I agree with you, by the way. 100% of what you just said. But here's something else that I know is a fact. Coaches have long memories. And here's what's going to happen. In that moment, LSU in that moment was conceding. They were playing the run because all Auburn was. I even tweeted, I'm like, late in the third quarter, I tweeted when Auburn kept running ball and 6-8 yards clip. I said, I tweeted something to the effect of, they'll take a knee before they attempt another pass, and you still can't stop them. LSU was completely committed to stopping the run. And Auburn knew it, and they took their shot over the top because they knew LSU was napping, and they could hit it. They did. And I got no problem with it. I'm with score 100. I wish last year against A&M, LSU had scored 100. They could have. If LSU wanted to score 100 against A&M last year, they could have fucking done it. But coaches have long memories. I'll tell you this much. Gus, when LSU has a chance, and it might be next year in Baton Rouge, LSU's going to skull fuck Auburn. They're going to skull fuck Auburn for that play. Because
that's fine.
It's fine. I'm with you. But file that one away in the same way that last year when A&M with the 7 overtime bullshit and print the cups in the picture and that fucking the score was the goddamn entry code or whatever. Like, and LSU never forgot the A&M 7 overtime thing. And last year they were out to beat the dog shit out of the business. Like, that is going to happen with LSU and Auburn. Maybe it's next year in Baton Rouge. Maybe LSU's not going to be the team yet to do it, but that day is coming when Ed Ogeron's going to remember. You don't think Ed Ogeron to this day, what's the one game more than any other on the schedule that Ed Ogeron wants to just fucking run the team out the building? And Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah, sure.
He ain't forgotten that. He's not forgotten being fired at Ole Miss. He'll say, oh, it's just another game. But at this point, he'll tease it. But you know him better than I do, Jordy. Like, you gonna tell me that still doesn't stick in that man's craw?
And I, you know what? I agree 100% exactly what you said. He remembers and will remember exactly what happened today. But I also believe that deep down he knows if he's on the other side, he's gonna do the same thing.
No doubt. I'm good with it.
He's gonna do the same thing because you know what? Like I said earlier, Matt, guess who else did that? Guess who else filed that shit away and thought about next time I run into them, I'm gonna kick their ass. Alabama did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Last November,
Roll Tide, fuck you.
running over to that recruiting section, which I loved.
Yeah.
I loved
Loved it too.
I loved it too.
Loved it.
You know what I mean? But now all that shit's coming full circle. And you get off the bus today with the squad you showed up with today at 2:30. They gonna hang 80, and let me tell you something. They ain't going to apologize about it. So, I mean,
but look, and listen. By the way, and some of y'all are confused and look at the comments like, "What? The A&M game was 7 overtimes." It ain't about that in particular. It was the fight after the game. It was, Steve Cragthorpe getting punched. The fight with the coach and the staff. All that
the bus
shit.
is getting out.
The bus is getting out. Then just off the cups and all the shit. Like all of that was something that LSU never forgot. And last year, they were out to kick the ever-living piss out of A&M. I'm telling you, after today, because of that touchdown, that over-the-top 9, look, if you keep running the ball and throwing it and running your offense, fine.
Are you going to ask me about it on my
That, sure.
I mean, that's like, if not, I'll definitely ask him Tuesday. Just on,
But I know what he's going to say.
will you remember that?
I know what he's going to say. He's going to say, well, if you ask it that way, but if you ask the question, Coach, you all right with them throwing the ball? And he'll go, yeah, well, 60 minutes. Well, that's what he's going to say. But if you got it, you know as well as I do. If he was sitting right here when all his cameras off, and you ask somebody to go, that's what I'm saying. It's the roll tide. What fuck you? I mean, that's exactly when the camera's on, the cameras are off. You're gonna get a different response. Let's see. Again, shout out Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center. Y'all come out there. A lot of people do Halloween trick or treat. Totally cool. Y'all remember it for open year. Y'all come hang at Don Juan Cigar Bar. Amazing selection of premium cigars. Right next to Whole Foods. The retail shop is right next door to the bar right here. You can come in, you can have a cocktail. They got a great selection of whiskeys. They got bourbon, scotch, whatever you want. They got draft beer as well. Enjoy premium cigar. It's 7 TVs. We're in this little bay right here with our own private TV. They got a giant TV above the fireplace up there. TVs above the bars, as you can see. So you can watch all your games here. You can enjoy premium cigar, comfortable couches. It's a great spot. We're thrilled to be here. And as always, also David Richardson. Go ahead.
David Richardson, builder and realtor. Remember, he is a one-stop shop. He specializes in properties over at Willow Grove Settlement over on Perkins Road, right near the Gun School. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Some of the best real estate right here in Baton Rouge. And David Richardson knows it inside and out. He builds houses in there. He sells houses in there. There's a brand new project coming up in the back of Willow Grove, based around a nice private little lake with a couple of lots that are going to be for sale. David Richardson can get you in that. Stone is tie David Richardson's social media accounts into this post over there. Make sure you give him a like and follow. Jump inside of his DMs, ask him how he can show you a house over in Willow Grove, or how he can build you a house, or even sell you one. Our guy, David Richardson, builder and realtor, a very big supporter of whiskey and wine. We always appreciate his interaction.
And of course, Citizens Bank. We appreciate our guy Jim Ferguson over there at Citizens Bank and Trust. Jim's the best, man. You're a small business owner. Really, they help more than 450 small businesses in Baton Rouge with their PPP, big COVID. Awesome, dude. Some of the best developments you've seen in Baton Rouge have been Citizens Bank and Trust lending that money. Building 5 under the Perkins Overpass, Ichiban Square, the Mid-City Beer Garden, Soju Restaurant, Anthony's Deli,
Roca Pizza.
Roca. Yeah, they've Roca right down Garden Road, which is awesome. Roca Pizzeria. They've done awesome work over there, man. Citizens has 6 drive-through locations. The offices in the Baton Rouge area, Bocage, Sherwood, and Neil Perkins Row. 2 locations in Plaquemine. It's Citizens Bank. If you're a small business owner, you're trying to go into business and you're thinking, who's going to give me that loan? You should start with the small business banker. The Community Bank and Citizens Bank and Trust. They are business bankers and business partners at Citizens Bank and Trust. They're also tagged in Facebook posts. Please like, and by the way, do me another favor we're going to do. Jimmy Kerr gave us another one of the Yeti hoppers, the coolers with the Citizens Bank logo on it. We're going to give away 2 of them on this episode tonight. So what you got to do is you got to like the Citizens Bank Facebook page, and then you got to tag them in a post on Facebook. We'll pick 2 winners after the show here tonight. All right, let's see what else we got. We're going to 7:23, so we had 10 minutes. We had 10 minutes. Let's do all you here for the next 10 minutes. Let's see. Jordan Frizzell says, fire Linehan, promote Russ Callaway.
Russ Callaway is definitely in line for an upgrade here. Look at Texas beat Oklahoma State 41-34.
Bro, Tom Herman is an underdog. That was a money line play for your board. Yeah. Well, I played money line with him against Oklahoma as well. Fucked it up in overtime, but money line play there with your boy Herman. And I said, dude, I mean, I know everybody suggests running on Tom, but the undeniable truth about him as a coach is when he's like his record as an underdog is something like 15-2 against spread with like 13 outright wins. It's incredible. Like when he can't be a front runner clearly, but when he's an underdog, that puts money on Tom Herman.
He gets a big one today.
Yeah, that's huge. Oh, that's huge for the Big 12. Because that eliminates the Big 12.
They're done.
They're eliminated. Nobody's happier than fucking Cincinnati. Because Cincinnati's ranked 7th right now. And Cincinnati's got a good shot to get this fucking playoff.
You got a team.
They're going to get their ass beat.
Yeah,
whoever they play in the playoffs, get their ass beat.
There's 3 college football teams.
Yeah, Russ Callaway.
I love him. I think that he is due for an upgrade. I definitely see it. And you know what? I go back to George Munoz. If you're paying attention to Baylor, if you're watching Baylor doesn't have the players. And you know what they don't have? Is they don't have the quarterback. They got a couple of good wide receivers, but if you're looking at their offense, they look a lot like LSU last year. They're not executing at that level, and they don't have the quarterback play. But their play calling, their schemes, the way that they space the field. LSU still. I bitched about this after the Mississippi State game. On the opening drive of the Mississippi State game, when Brennan threw that interception, or they went 3 and out, might have been 3 and out. They got 3 players in the same spot. If you remember last year, they would space the field almost looked like a basketball, where they would have a player down low, they would have a player here in the middle, they'd have a player up top, and they would run all types of routes where the field was very well spread out. If you watch Baylor play, the way that they spread the field and take advantage of running routes, spreading the field, putting players in space, easy throws for the quarterback, get the ball out of your hand quick. George Munoz, the wide receivers coach at Baylor, is installing that and running that in the way.
Why was Munoz? I was stunned Munoz wasn't the guy to replace Joe Brady. I was stunned. I don't know what, but that goes both. But that's why when people criticize Ed, that's the legitimate criticism. Because, man, I've said this, and I know whenever I'm critical of Ed, people look at me and they point back to my not liking the hire initially. We've got to bury that fucking shit. Those of you who have that. But I get it. But still, the point is, ultimately, you're looking at a situation where Les Miles hired Ed Ogeron. Les Miles hired Dave Aranda. Les Miles hired Steve Benson. Ed Ogeron has hired Matt Canada, fucking Scott Linehan, O. Pelini. Now, O gets credit for Joe Brady, you know.
And I also think the elevation is a really nice move.
But you know what, though, man? You say that, and look, LSU's before today was averaging 42 games. Yeah. So Steve has proven Joe Brady knows Joe Brady. I mean, Steve Benson can call offense and run shit. But ultimately, still, that was one of those where why couldn't you scour the country after the Matt Canada thing, identify where you want your offense to go and get that guy? You know what I mean? So,
thank y'all.
Thank you, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's
because you have those resources at LSU.
You are.
Everybody's listening, and they're listening because your name recognition, but they're really listening because you can cut the check. And that's why everybody is in play.
You cut the check, and anybody can elevate, right? Can elevate. Yeah. You can be Joe Brady 1 year in Baton Rouge and then go to the NFL. You know what I mean? It's like you can do that. You can get that gig. So, all right, let's see a couple more here.
But I definitely think that Russ Callaway is a full-time member of LSU staff in 2020.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Oh, man, I would have said the same thing about George Munoz. But I'm sitting there watching fucking Joe Burrow with the fucking Heisman, and they got Ed Ogeron and Steve Ensminger,
Scott Woodward,
George Munoz. George Munoz.
People are like, who was the guy on the end?
I talk about every time I do an interview, and someone's like, man, what about the quarterbacks? You're not having Joe Brady there. I'm like, Joe Brady fucking spent a day with quarterbacks. Joe Brady worked with receivers. It's Ensminger and Munoz that did all the work with quarterbacks, right? I'm going like, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, I was surprised about that. Jordan Frizzell, where did our O-line recruiting fall off so bad? That's
they're hoping to clean up this year. And look, you've heard a lot about this freshman class: Marlon Martinez, Marcus Duberville, even the kid out of Mississippi, Xavier Hill. I mean, like, you've heard all three of those guys are bright spots. Charles Turner's a swing guy, but if you look at the offensive line play today, it's got to be better. It's got to be better. They got a big recruit today in Sage Ryan. A bigger recruit would be Tristan Lee. The big five-star tackle to go along with Ross Dellinger, who is committed out of Michigan.
Look, you get Tristan Lee, and you got Dellinger committed. Those are your tackles. Those are your bookmarks, all right? You mentioned Martinez and Hill. You got Bradford, who Ed Ogeron loves. You're looking at
Shanahan's go. Looks like
Shanahan probably coming back, but I mean,
he got blown up.
Charles Turner, is he ever going to develop? And then you also got Cardell Thomas, who you hope lose some weight, get on track. So, like, it's coming. But it also shows you last year, Bob, I'll tell you, man. A lot of people don't want to hear this shit because LSU won that fucking blocking trophy award, looks like a piano and all that bullshit.
Joey B,
Joe
baby.
Burrow erased fucking every mistake those
Joey
fucking
B, baby.
Like, they should have given that giant fucking piano trophy award to Joe fucking Burrow. Like, I mean, think about the fucking play against you. Like, the symbolic play of 2019 is 3rd and 17 against Texas. And Joe Burrow gets hit from 3 different ways off balance, making this throw to Justin Jefferson. Just like fuck that up, man. He's pressured, he's got to duck, he's got to go underneath, he's got a guy hold on to his leg as he makes an off balance throw. That's the best of it. Get the fuck out.
No, hey, Joey is the owner. I'm gonna tell you, that's why you've got to be safe. If you're LSU, you have got to start to build reputation and culture of not 2019 being Joe Burrow and Joe Brady the outliers. You know, I mean, where you got a franchise quarterback and NFL 2B head coach calling plays.
I hesitate to ask this, bro, because I'm not putting, like, someone's personal life is a personal life, and I don't want to get into that, bro, but a lot of people are asking about that personal life, right?
I just think it's a great example of this organization and the whole picture. I'm not going to talk about anybody's personal life either.
No doubt.
And we've all seen the same things. I just think it's a great representation of priorities. They need to be, you know, I mean, we're breaking down sports. When that stuff leaks into sports, somewhere along the way that goes clouded. That's all I'm saying.
I also know enough to know that there's been enough coaches. And here's the thing, bro. Someone's personal life is a personal life. But like you said, the question is when your personal life gets away with your professional life, then here's the perfect example. It's Bobby Petrino. Bobby Petrino's personal, great coach, his personal life led into what he was doing on the field, and that falls apart. Hugh Freeze, same thing. Dude, whatever you do in your personal time, that's when you, your family, and God, when that day comes. The only time it becomes relevant here is when that impacts your ability to do your job. Right? That's right. That's it. So I don't know if what's going on the field right now has anything to do with that. But I'll tell you the bigger picture is you spent an entire offseason, which you just said, writing a book, going 60 minutes, doing, you get a popular walk to coast the town, all that shit. That's great. You deserve it, man. So the victor go the spoils. But one of the things, you hate to keep bringing it up, bro, but Nick Saban's pissed when he wins a national championship because he's 2 weeks delayed in recruiting. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. That's the difference. Like, that's why he is and forever will be the gold standard and the greatest it's ever done, bro. It's like, it's a fucking hard thing to do. We got 1 more minute? We got 1 more minute.
We can stay on Facebook.
Facebook's the one that's fucking up. YouTube's been good. So, all right, we got 1 minute. We got to bounce y'all. Do us a solid. Share the post. We appreciate y'all being with us. Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center. They're the best, man. We cannot thank them enough for hosting us all year long here for Whiskey and Wine. Don Juan Cigar Bar right next to Whole Foods. You got the retail shop right next door. Come in, walk in, humidor. Amazing selection, friendly staff that helps you with everything. If you don't know anything about cigars, you just want a couple of cigars for a special occasion, birth of a child, celebrating an anniversary, something like that. Or you want to go stock your humidor, you know this is the place to be. Or come on in, the bar is open. You can get premium cocktails, all the whiskeys you want, scotch, bourbon. They got it all. They got draft beer, bottled beer, and they got TVs galore, man. This is such a cool vibe to come hang out, watch the game. So shout out Don Juan, shout out to Jimmy Berger and our guys at Citizens Bank and Trust that tagged in the post. If you all or know someone who's a small business owner, these are the people that you want to be doing business with at Citizens Bank and Trust. They are the absolute best, and we appreciate Citizens Bank and Trust for their sponsorship.
Always want to shout out David Richardson, builder and real estate agent, as he is here in Baton Rouge. He can build your house. He can sell you a house. Remember, he specializes in Willow Grove Settlement over there in Perkins Road. There's beautiful pieces of property and houses for sale that he can get you into. He can build you a home out there. He's got great knowledge of that real estate. He's got great knowledge of the real estate around the capital city. He can get you into a home today. Find out how David Richardson can build you a home, sell you a home at David Richardson, realtor and builder, on social media, on Facebook here inside of this post, and we always appreciate his support of Whiskey.
Thank y'all for watching so much. Please share the post. Let your friend know. No show next week, obviously. We'll be back post-game Bama, probably same time. It's going to be a 2:30 kickoff on CBS. So y'all join us here for Whiskey and Wine. See you.